It's called Redemption Song, subtitle or description, after abandoning a translation. Between sign and sign, second coming of language, presence under written by text, signature of origin, re-signed, spoken in tongues, what's bruited, noise abroad, the wording's wrong. Word of mouth makes nothing happen. Chinese whisper, blind eye, mindful of absence, unwriting, implodes in the name of action.
The Return, in Memoriam, Regina Derieva. It seems that I return. It seems I must return to the well shaft of light. Silhouetted against light, I see them take shape, then go as everything goes. The bench under the ash tree, the swifts tumbling from the sky like ash. How the impersonal becomes personal in the light box of mind, and time out of mind, light drops me down, past images, down, past the memories and half-glimpsed memories, as if I'd always meant to find the source.
An operatically long winter. The frosts are half-tone colder. The air freezes like B-flat. A maple and its balding crown, a recitative appropriate to the part. I falter, mix up the dates. Prompter, tell me how much longer I can expect. Time, which I once had plenty of, has shoved me onto an express. There were no free seats. The doors didn't close. Toilet stench. Birds and beasts of prey galore, enough to satisfy Darwin himself. It lasted so long, was so scary, the act, and there was no question of unity. But I didn't perish in the scrap, though the voice got a bit throaty. I no longer need that score, classics or props, fancy skirts and coats, lying words of comfort, and the total hell of man and man at one another's throats.
Curator Aquarum. You see how in the Roman Empire everything was wonderfully constructed, so they even had an official caretaker of the waters. I'd like to think that Ovid wasn't sent into exile, but commissioned to instruct the Scythians in classical prosody and to invent new offices for the barbarians who loved to gaze at the waves of the Euxine Pontus. It's a lovely poem.
First one is epigraph to Regina's poem An Experience. Meanwhile, I lose my face broken in the water. And the poem is called Self-Portrait as Water. I slide, I find my level always. I am 2/3 you of everything. I hover and break. I bid for the whole monopoly like a spring not yet reached, like future. The rooms of the future are the pressure in the spring. They spread their ceilings, have heightened walls as mobile, as immobile as water. A wall is water. You see its sunken currents move. The rooms are water standing, The windows are filled with snowlight, with blue, with purple thunderheads, a fug of light. Whatever's said in the deck chairs between those two linked hands. Water, like a state of mind, bulges and collects at the tap's lip, and his loaded weight clings, swells, quadruples its volume, wells and wells. One day it will crash, will explode.
Joseph Brodsky, since he's looking at us and his daughter is sitting here.
But the other day as I was walking, some man called out as I walked past him, "Damn, is that a girl or a minivan?" I said, "I'm just the way I am. I'm a chunky monkey, big and frumpy. My thighs are large and my calves are lumpy. It's pretty funky. My jeans take 1 hour to shove one leg in, but I don't care if I look like a penguin. I waddle with pride. It's what's inside that counts. Appearances are lies. One day your face could be massacred by flies, and you would wish you had my cheesecake thighs, or lard behind." The man just sighed. He said, "You're fat, and that is that." When you walked past the Pope, he spat. Jesus frowns upon the heavy, I don't remember yet.
Before we were so rudely interrupted, you were saying something about immortality, on being human. You were saying something about a God being a hard-nosed judge. You were saying something about that world we inhabit, on how it's run and running. You were saying something about seeing and hearing and sensing, about looking and listening and feeling for textures. You were not talking about retirement, about sitting in a pub in central London and a phone ringing, about bitter winter on tap, moments before winter turned bitter. You were saying something about thinking and traveling and living and writing, about connecting dots and circles. You were saying something about having to think again on thinking again. You were saying something about not judging, about not being on a jury. You were saying something about being human, on mortality.
Writing with Regina. Regina, I met you in the old walled city, the white goddess they call her, though in my tongue it's just a sound. Golden amber, my mother place, my hometown. Eloquence in your silences and gaze, and the words exchanged between us. I know your poems. I've rested there, I said. Spare and in translation, the line of languages, the rope that binds, yet never quite assuages. Gone now, that moment in the medieval castello. During the performance, you were regal, but swathed in a sort of haze. Was it pain? There was a holiness to it, a shadow, and the moment flickers. Gone now. I'm sailing away myself as I write this tonight, setting forth in a paper vessel. Such stormy seas, ice floes, glaciers. Your poems are a map when the snow blows in under the door, bringing the ghosts of holy fools and convicts, sailors, all that, more. Now, I'll take it with me, that moment of our meeting, of those candle flame evenings, your gentle gravity, the element of deep blue air, and me burning up in red, barefoot, the element of fire. And I'll take you with me. Come aboard this paper schooner, pitching across ink-black seas, sailing for the moon of the desk lamp, lighting the undulating waves, the muses calling through your words, and the bright stars, the bright stars, falling, falling, falling.
A conflict only defies resolution when the best minds are called upon to resolve it. Even castles in the air require renovation. I like that. Oh, these are Regina. Yeah. And she was going to write 1001, and it didn't. That sounds like one of those ambitions which gets you going.
Yeah, I like the one about the conflicts, the best minds being called upon
to resolve
to
it.
resolve it, because so often people say things that are impossible, or they'll end a short complaint or criticism with "that's just the way things are."
Yeah.
I guess conflicts are more ended by kind people rather than the best people for their job.
Yeah, or like the ultimate advance in technology or something like that. You know, but so often people are just happy to say, "Well, it's just the way it is," and